founder of Life Flip Media and Life Flip Daily. Eric Mitchell, also in studio, media strategist and host of What's Bugging Me podcast, Dennis Neal. Thank you guys for being with us.
Good.
Great to be here.
Go for it.
So, Dennis, I'll start off with you first. This happens on a special night, actually, for Catholics. It's a special feast day. I'm Catholic. We honor the Immaculate Heart of Jesus. And the fact that the LA Dodgers, despite all of this backlash, continues to honor this group. You just saw a video of their performances.
It's just utterly outrageous. And think about it just in terms of running a business and a brand, because that's what the Dodgers are. What a terrible decision. Why would you stoop so low as to do something like this, especially on a holiday like that? What were they thinking? And so what happens is, here's what protests do, protest groups. Let's try to get invited. And then when they turn us down, we can then protest and say, my God, there's discriminated against us. It's transphobic. So they were happy to be turned down. They then surf it for headlines. Then the Dodgers retreat and say, oh, okay, let's let them come in here because they don't want to be called transphobic. Oh, my gosh, perish the thought that someone would call you that. Mm-hmm. And then you see what happens, and you end up having this ridiculous demonstration where, although thousands of Catholics demonstrated outside the stadium, but a couple hundred people inside, they let them appear and they gave them some award an hour before the game began. No one was there to see it. So the Dodgers just basically flipped out and retreated on all fronts, and it's a huge PR nightmare.
I think the MLB in general should be ashamed of itself for allowing this to happen.
I agree with you.
Eric, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to start off. I'm a Texas Ranger fan, and we don't have Pride Night, so it's not a problem there. So, we solved that issue here in Texas real fast. So anybody come here, we don't have Pride Night, but we do honor the military. So that's what we care about around here. But, it's just like the panelist said there. The Dodgers are a brand, and they ruined it. There was about as many people in the stadium as is in a Target right now. And they were probably all drinking Bud Light and watching this. But seriously, in a small city like Los Angeles, they could only find this group to honor, and the LGBTQ plus whatever alphabet we're using now for this group. They couldn't find another group. I looked it up. And interesting enough, there's like about 100 groups that do amazing things for the homeless, the youth. They couldn't pick that. No, they pick a group that hates Catholics, women, and Latinos. Oh, I don't know. That sounds like half the demographic of Los Angeles. The Dodgers, they committed basically suicide to their brand. And as we've seen, if you go woke, you go broke. We're pretty good at that. The Dodgers, they embarrassed themselves last night as a team. And then Major League Baseball should be embarrassed because Pride Nights have always been uneventful, right? They're just people show up to these stadiums, to the teams that choose to do them. And last night, that was just embarrassing. Having, 5,000 protesters out front. LAPD had to get called. There wasn't anybody in the stands until right before first pitch. Right. So it's just an embarrassment to Major League Baseball.
Absolutely. Dennis, why do they keep doing this? We saw what happened with the hockey players, that a lot of them didn't want to wear the pride jerseys. Why can't we just leave politics? Because that's what this is. Leave the politics, these identity politics out of our sports. Can't we just go and have fun and watch a game?
Lydia, everything in life can be boiled down to a Seinfeld episode, one or another. And there's the one where you must wear the ribbon. You must wear the ribbon.
Right,
and that's the
Kramer,
point where we are.
AIDS walk.
Yes. Now, why is it as a business when gay households are only 2% of all households, new numbers from the census show, when 5 out of 1,000 people think that they are trans, where is the market here for appealing and bending over backwards and offending a big part of your audience to suck up to these people? It's because I don't want to be called homophobic. I don't want to be called transphobic. Well, you're not transphobic if you oppose something like this. You're just not at all.
Well, I'm a trans denier because I don't believe that someone can change their sex.
Just by saying so?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think unless you want, I'm the queen. You can call me Queen Lydia. There you go. So what do you, Eric, are you the king of Texas over there? How's it going down there?
I think I have a whole lot of fellow kings and queens here in Texas, and I mean queens like my wife. That's what I honor. That's a true woman right there, and my beautiful daughters who compete against other women. And also in our state, just yesterday, we joined a long number of other states who, whatever sex you are, is what you swim or compete against here in the state of Texas. So we're doing it right here. And by the way, the Rangers, I asked them, as a person who attends a lot of games, I've asked them, hey, do we have protests or anything? Absolutely not. Since 2013, the Rangers have chosen not to do it. There's nobody lined up in front of our baseball stadium protesting. Everybody's fine with it. The community's fine with it. So what happened in LA, that was just a political stunt because, just like you're all saying, everyone is so afraid to be called transphobic. It's like the ultimate fallback to go back in the community and everything we do. Sports, everybody loves to damage sports, punishing athletes for having religious beliefs. And I've said this on air many a times. These athletes aren't just athletes. They are allowed to be Christians and Catholics or whatever they believe in. And players did speak out. And there should be nothing wrong with believing in your God and speaking up for it. The Dodgers didn't even care what their all-star player said about it, and they still went along with this event. And it's disgusting, and I hope they start listening to players, because there's a far larger amount of Catholics and Christians in this country than there are these other little groups that just want to be spiteful and offended, because if we don't accept them, they're going to say we're all transphobic or whatever other phobic we could be.
Eric Mitchell, Dennis Neal, What's Bugging Me podcast. You can find it everywhere. Thank you both for being with us.